Order of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Taylor,
Please
would you
join
lead
me
us?
in honoring our flag and country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Dana, would you lead us in word of prayer this morning?
Thank you. Would you join me as we go to our Lord? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you have given each and every one of us. Lord, thank you for the rain, for the snow that you have given our parched land. Lord, it's springtime in New Mexico, and we thank you for every beautiful sight that we have seen lately. Lord, thank our men and women overseas and here on our homeland that are fighting. Keep them safe. Lord, keep our law enforcement safe. Lord, surround the state police officer's family that lost his life protecting us, Lord. Keep them safe, Lord. The EMT in South Carolina, Lord, surround their family. We are all one in this when we lose one of our own, Lord. Lord, to our Jewish brothers and sisters, keep them safe. Keep the hostages safe. Bring them back to their homeland. Lord, let us have open ears today to hear, to do your will, Lord. And keep our citizens of Chaves County and this nation safe, Lord, in these tough times. And we pray this. And to God be the glory. Amen.
Amen. Do we have a quorum? You're up. Okay, thank you. Approval of minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve minutes from February 15th, 2024.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by
Dick.
Commissioner Taylor. Sorry, Dick. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Briscoe, do you have anything you want to share with us this morning?
Good morning from Chaves County Detention Center. So our current count is 264, 55 of those being females and 209.
I'm sorry.
Can we please hold it down?
I'm sorry, 264, what is the
Yes, ma'am,
current?
my current count is 264,
Okay,
with 209 of those being males and 55 being females.
okay.
My juvenile count is 8.
8 juveniles?
Yes, ma'am. For improvements, the fence upgrade, I'm glad to say we got our new gates up, and they're stringing up concertina wire around the whole place. It looks really good. So that's moving along really well. The accreditation lieutenant that we allotted for and we hired is Sam Bean. Sam wants to help. Sam comes to us from the corrections department as well. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sam Bean.
Tell them about yourself.
Spent a year at the Institute working with the cadets as a TLA. Prior to that, 7 years at the Corrections Department as a training coordinator, OPS investigator, duty officer, you name it. I have 7 years of law enforcement prior to that in Utah as well. So it's good to be here. Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Really, welcome
Thank you.
aboard.
So that's gonna set us up for our accreditation, and we are gonna go forward for our accreditation in July. I think we will be able to do that, so we're not gonna postpone it. We're just gonna make it happen. We started the the Employee of the Month awards, the stipend, and I'll tell you what, that's really impacted our officers, and we're getting a lot of good nominations. It's good for morale, and it's gonna help me keep my guys too. We been meeting with Matt, meetings for the community awareness for the detainees for aftercare. we reached out to Dan, and we linked up with Dan and a couple other people. So for aftercare for offenders when they get out, we're just not kicking them out now. We're actually getting them some post-treatment as well. So that's really gonna help, I think, my recidivism rate of these guys coming right back to me. We're still running a lot of projects around the facility, still painting, still cleaning, excuse me, just to get the cleanliness up to where it needs to be. But we've came leaps and bounds from where it was, and I'm glad to say it at least looks presentable now. And that's all I have from CCDC, sir.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for him?
Mr. Chairman, I just had on the accreditation process, who are you going through on that? Is it New Mexico counties or what is it? It is New Mexico counties? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Commissioner, we're also starting the process of becoming ACA accredited, American Correctional Association.
That's correct.
Corrections Association. We've had their people come and evaluate our jail several months ago. We had them come and reevaluate it in January, and they think we're pretty far along on the accreditation process as of the January meeting when,
That's correct. That was the Nigel reports that we got.
yes,
Okay. Okay, good.
National Institute of Jail Operations, NIJO, yeah. So,
Okay.
thank you.
On the juveniles, are they just waiting to be transported, or what are we
Yeah,
going to
so
do?
for breakdown of juveniles, I have one currently at San Juan County. I have 4 at Lee County, 3 at Doña for a total of 7.
Okay,
Those break down to 7 males, 1 female as well.
okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briscoe,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Drew, do you and Tamara, if y'all want to give up and give a report, one or both of you, from the extension office? Bill's got a proclamation he's going to read right quick.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, in honor of Agricultural Week, during the Rise with Roswell breakfast, we presented a proclamation, and I want to read that now because they're such a large part of this proclamation. Rise with Roswell Agricultural Appreciation Day, March 14, 2024. Whereas agriculture is the leading industry in Chaves County, and whereas for the past century, Chaves County has been one of the top producing agricultural counties in the state of New Mexico, and whereas Chaves County farmers, ranchers, and dairy producers are among the hardest working and most productive in the United States, and whereas the economic impact derived from the agriculture industry is vital to all citizens of Chaves County, and whereas the Chaves County Board of Commissioners recognizes and appreciates all the efforts of farmers, ranchers, and dairy producers, as well as their families and employees, for the financial strength and stability they bring to our local economy. Now therefore, Chaves County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims March 14, 2024 as Agricultural Appreciation Day in Chaves County, done this 14th day of March 2024, Board of Chaves County Commissioners. And thank you guys for making that happen.
Thank you
Thank you.
all. So we are just finishing up our 2023 report, and we have our annual advisory meeting this evening. So in front of you, you have our annual report from last year. As a total, we hit 270,000 in contact numbers last year. And one of the biggest ones that we're kind of proud of is we had a 54% increase in face-to-face educational contacts last year. And so being down an agent in the office, that's a big, a big take on for us. We do have the 4-H position still open. It is set to close April the 4th, dependent on applicants. On the 4-H side, we are continuing with our braiding workshops, and we begin sewing workshops this month as well. We had some youth just return from the FCS School of Real Life Skills in Albuquerque, where 135 youth learned about food and nutrition, clothing and textiles, and participated in community service projects. Our annual enrollment wraps up next week, and as of Tuesday right now, we're sitting at an 8% increase in enrollment for 4-H youth this year. We're also kicking off a new school enrichment program tomorrow, coordinating with Tabosa and the Little Steps program that they have going on. On the FCS side, we're looking forward to our third community-wide training next month. It's April the 4th. And we are also wrapping up our kitchen creations class on Monday. We had 17 community members go through that completely and successfully this last month. As the other things on the FCS side, we still have our mental health classes going on as well as our diabetes. And then we will be out at Sierra Middle School next week as well for their career fair. You're up.
All right. Well, with the ag side of things, pecan weevil, keep looking in your pecans as you're picking them up and sending them to a licensed, certified sheller so that they're also going to be looking for them as they shell your pecans. Don't send any west. Make sure if you are going to send them east, because that is fits within the quarantine. We had the Southwest Beef Symposium here just earlier this month, and it was a big success. We're excited to have that here. We will be having our Southeast Ranchers Workshop. This year it does rotate to Curry County, so that'll be in Clovis at the Extension office over there on March 28th. April 17th, right here at our offices, we'll have a woody encroachment workshop geared towards helping reduce woody encroachment of mesquite and other woody pests out on our rangeland to help protect the range health. And then we will have a beef quality assurance certification June 19th. So if you are interested in that, get with me and we'll have more details coming up close. 4-H livestock tagging has kicked off, and Saturday we're going to start tagging steers, and then we'll have our second tag, and that'll be at the Dexter Livestock Commission. And then Wednesday next week on the 27th, we'll have our second tag in at the Roswell Sale Barn. And so we're very appreciative to those two businesses for letting us utilize their facilities, tagging for our youth. And so we're getting into full swing for that, and it's going to be another exciting year. And so we appreciate everything the commissioners have done for us in this county, and we appreciate the project for our new building. We're very excited about that, and we're appreciative that you feel that we're providing enough value to this county, and we look forward to living up to that as well. And one last thing is I just want everybody to remember Jim Gill, who passed away recently, a pillar in this community with Roswell Seed, and has helped this community for a long, long time. And so our prayers and our hearts are with him and his family.
Thank you, yes. Is there any, the youth ranch management camp, is there anyone from here going?
So currently the enrollment is still open, and
Okay.
so we don't know just yet. So it opened March 1st and it'll close April 15th, and I appreciate you bringing that up so that I can plug it. So if you know any high school age youth that are interested, it is a week-long crash course and everything ranching. And so it really is an awesome program. If there are any youth that are interested in ranching or livestock production, it is something worth putting your hat into the ring. And so April 15th, that will close, and then we will, as a committee, go through and make the decision from there.
The reason I asked.
And last year, we had
Yeah.
2 youth from Chavis
Good.
County out of the 30.
Good. I hope we can get some. I've been part of that deal since inception, so it's a
Yes.
good program.
It is. It's a
Thank
great
you.
program.
Thank you, guys. Any questions? Commissioner Perry?
You said you had something upcoming on decreasing woody vegetation. What was that? When is that?
So there's going to be a woody encroachment management workshop, and that is going to be April 17th. And the likely start time is 9 o'clock. We're still building up the agenda, but it's going to be about 9 to noon, and that will be with Doug Cram, who is our fire range specialist and our forestry specialist, and then Dr. Casey Spackman, who is our range health specialist.
Enough, anyone else?
When do we start the Master Gardener classes?
So every year they tease me with the potential for fall offering, but right now I'm not holding my breath on the fall, and so likely it's going to be January is when we'll start that up again. So we did have the new enrollment earlier this year, and we started that up, and it is running smoothly. And we actually we had 19 active Master Gardeners last year. We had 16 interns sign up for the course right now that are going through it. And so we're almost doubling our numbers as far as the Master Gardeners. And on that note, I do want to thank Keep Chaves County Beautiful for the grant that we keep jumping in on. And if you haven't been by the Triangle Beds, I recommend you do so. They're turning out quite beautifully, and we still have a lot of work to do.
Cool. So when do we start planting?
So they should be
Please.
starting planting into this month is when they're going to start adding some more plants to those beds.
Okay, so
And if you're wondering for your own
for my
plants,
own plants,
gardening at the library will have a workshop on vegetable gardening on April, the third Saturday in April. I want to say it's 17th, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
okay, so you'll start that back up and running.
20th,
April 20th, all
20th,
right,
3 days off.
at the library?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. I bought them, but I'm running them in and out. My laundry room is now,
I understand.
but the greenery opened. They made a mistake of telling me they were open, so I just had to go over
No,
there.
that's not a mistake. Make sure you
Yeah.
visit them.
Yeah, they have all sorts of good stuff. The rosemary isn't there yet, so she's gonna let me know when she gets rosemary in. So April 20th, and it's at the library, right?
Yes, ma'am. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Drew. Thank you, Tamara.
Anyone else? Thank you, guys. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
all that
Thank
you're
you.
doing for us. Joanne from the Chaves County Health Council.
I hope y'all can see me.
Very good.
And this is my first time doing this, so if I do something wrong, just let me know so I can correct myself.
You're fine.
You're good.
I'm Joanne Lopez with the Chaves County Health Council. With me, I have Joanne Palomino and Lori Dudek from Department of Health. In case I freeze up, they can jump in for me. But what I would like to do, I want to speak a little bit about the Health Council and Tribal Act, and then I'll go into talking about Chaves County Health Council and what I'm here for. So the county and tribal health councils were established in 1991 by the New Mexico legislature. We help communities organize to identify and focus on local health priorities. The functions of the Health Council were reaffirmed in 2019 by the County and Tribal Health Council Act. In that act, it is stated that we are required to have the County Commission Board acknowledge that Chaves County Health Council, or that there is one health council in your jurisdiction. So we haven't been doing this, and this year we have to get it done, and then it'll be going in the future. Every year we'll be coming back to you to have a resolution signed or a letter of support, however you're comfortable. I would like to just speak a little bit about some of the projects of the Chaves County Health Council. We support veterans through a couple of different projects. One is Veterans Ride Free. It is a project that we sponsor with the Roswell Transit, where every veteran rides free. That's just all there is to it. If they don't have an ID, Roswell Transit assists them, and they do create an ID for them. And we're really proud of that program because it's been utilized. The numbers are really big. And then together with Veteran Program, that is a suicide prevention program for rural veterans. It's new to Chaves County Health Council. But it is really moving along. Our steering committee is comprised of veterans, and they are really, really appreciative of this program. We operate the Chaves County 211 information line. That is another big project we have. This was a United Way project. Chaves County Health Council took over 211 about 3 years ago, and our calls that are coming in 2022, we had 1,394 calls. This past year, it got up to almost 1,600. So the calls are coming in. It's a resource line. You call, and hopefully we have the resource you need, and we give you the direct number. We're the boots on the ground instead of the community having to run back and forth and try to find the help that they need. We should be able to assist them immediately. The homeless outreach and mobile engagement, we call it HOME. This is an outreach where we have partnered with Alianza and with 100% Chaves County to reach the homeless, to provide services to them. We go to them. Every Wednesday, you'll see us in town, different locations, different organizations. We are set up with resources for the homeless to come to us. We feed them. There's just all sorts of different kinds. We're there. Alianza's there. The free mobile phone and iPad. Just different organizations come in. We had one that needed a driver's license, so we made the arrangements to get them down there and get that taken care of. But we're really proud of that. And then we host the annual Chavez County Health Expo, and that's a very big health resource fair in southeastern New Mexico. We are one of the biggest fairs that you're going to find to get health information. Last year, we served over 1,600 residents, so we're real proud of that. Did y'all want to add anything to that?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay, so what we're here asking for is if y'all would consider a resolution or letter of support naming Chavez County Health Council, the health council for the jurisdiction.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Anyone have any questions for them?
Just thank you for what you do. I know it's a lot on your plate, but we've gotten to know you so the past couple of years, so thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move into the agenda items, and this is a public hearing. So on agenda item number 1, Chavez County Public Nuisance Abatement Ordinance number 0115. Lewis, would you please step up?
Chairman, Commissioners, the Planning and Zoning Department is asking approval of the Chavez County Public Nuisance Abatement Ordinance number 0115 as permitted in the NMSA Section 318.5 and 4-37-1. This ordinance contains procedures for abating public nuisances in the unincorporated area of Chavez County. Staff recommends approval.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Lewis? You read over this?
Lewis, does this replace an existing ordinance, or have we not had one?
We have not had one. Chairman, Commissioners, we use the existing state statute, which is currently 3-18-5. This allows us, as you know, we are allowed as a county to take a state statute and make it our own, not making it less effective, but making it more effective. In this case, what we're adding is the ability to negotiate the cost that we incur for the demoing and cleaning up of the property, establishing a possible payment program or a lease pay, a reduction in the cost of it, depending on it. And that's given over to the county manager in this particular ordinance. All of the notifications remain the same. All of the 10-day notices remain the same. Everything else that we have followed in the past will remain the same.
Luis, and looking at the section 5 under the notification, it says allotting a reasonable amount of time for the owner to abate the public nuisance. How do we define a reasonable amount of time?
What we do is listen to the citizen. We listen to their issues. A lot of times we have seniors that need assistance. So we try to find assistance for them with churches, organizations. If not, we work with them through other means of the county. The road department does have trash bins. Now that we know that, we also work with other waste facilities that can provide bins for the disposal of their trash, debris, their waste. So we do try to continuously work on them. A lot of times, though, we deal with property that have already been abandoned and there are no longer heirs to the property, or they choose not to, or they cannot address the issue. and they don't live in town. Those are the ones that we consider a public nuisance where we have to address the issue.
You want to have any more questions for Lewis?
Lewis, what's the effect? I noticed that it is the owner of the property that is ultimately responsible. What if the nuisance is created by a lessee?
It is still on the owner, as we can only lien on the property being that the owner is, of course, the owner, I'm sorry. But yes, we still have to, and we have had that situation before, and where the owner has had to deal with the leasee to the point of evicting them and then cleaning the property themselves.
Thank you.
Bill, do you have anything you want to add? Okay, Lewis. Okay, this is a public hearing, and you will, those of you that want to get up and speak, you need to give your name and your address. And I'm gonna, since there's so many in the room, I'm gonna ask how many in the room are going to speak for this ordinance? Okay.
Four.
Four. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. How many in the room are going to speak against it? Okay, we've got about, best I can count is about 5 that are for, and then multiple against, so
At least 20, yeah.
at least 20 or so against it. For time's sake, I'm trying to figure out how everybody wants to be here. Out of the ones that are against it, is there at least 3 or 4 of you that would be, could be spokesman for the group, or is everyone going to get up and say the same thing, and we're going to all hear the same thing? Can you determine that there would be, let's just say 3 of you, and then we'll last, that'd be more than fair for that, and then we'll ask for a couple from the other side. Okay. I'm going to ask for those that are for it for 2 of you. And Mr. Clements, I'm going to call on you because you've been one of the mainstays. Name your name and your address, please, sir.
My name's Marvin Clemens, 6102 Kincaid. I've been coming here for a couple years, complaining about junk, trailers, trash, people wrecking cars, demoing cars, and I think this is the way to go. We need to clean up our county, get rid of all this junk and all this. It's a mess all over the county. People just need to start taking care of their property so it doesn't look like a mess. That's it. I understand we're not all rich, but at least the people can try. A lot of people don't even try. Pass this thing. We need it. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else is in the group is for it? Yes, ma'am. Your name and address, please.
Christina Arnold, 415 North Lee Avenue. I think I come from more of a, like Mr. Clements, I understand there's different circumstances for each individual, but in creating a Chaves County that is something that we can sell to bring opportunity here, we have to have a marketable look, and being clean is very important. In reading the ordinance, the one thing that I would find a little concerning and lacking is due process. I think in certain circumstances, if you're going to put a lien on someone's property, you should have a quasi system set up so that they have a right for a hearing or something like that. But otherwise, I do want to say thank you for actually taking the time to put this out there and creating it, because There are certain aspects of our community that are, well, for instance, here's a prime example. I was on a hospital group trying to recruit doctors to come into our community. Our biggest issue is driving from the airport into the city. That's the first thing they see. So that is why while I don't want to take property or affect the Chaves County residents, we still have to be mindful of, what people see when they come to Chaves County. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold. One more. Anyone else? Anyone online?
Lady in the back.
Okay. Okay, there, I'm sorry. I didn't see you back there. Sorry about that.
And this is in favor of, right?
Yeah.
My name's Tracy Metcalf. I live at 3302 West Bland.
Yes, ma'am.
From a building standpoint, because we do construction, when we have people come in and want to buy land to build on, they don't want to build, including myself, because we own 20 acres next to us. We don't want to build anything that we can't sell. And resale values on our own home go down because of trash and things that are around our properties. So it does affect the values of our homes. And my neighbors are here, and they're for it not passing because they have junk. And when I kept kids at my own home, people would come down the road and they would be like, why did you build here? Well, we built 20 years ago before everybody else moved in there. There's cars everywhere, trash, dead sheep laying in their back of their properties. Their fence is blown down on our property. Nothing gets done. We have people down the road that has junk. People behind us have cars that's now a wrecking yard. They will get parts off of and just leave the vehicles there. And it's just embarrassing to have people come in from other places. My daughter moved to Iowa, and in their towns, they have ordinances. If you don't clean up, you can do jail time in where she lives in Iowa. So I don't understand why New Mexico can't follow suits of other states and places that actually try to keep property values up for those coming in. Just like that lady said, she can't promote doctors and stuff coming in because nobody wants to build in the county because it's not attractive.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak for? Okay. Those that are against, I'm gonna let three speak from that. So, yes, ma'am.
I'm Victoria Cardona, and I'm at 309 Carroll Avenue. We live in the house my husband grew up in. There's the positivity part of living outside of city limits, where you kind of have a little bit more freedom. My husband, he's 63. So we've been in that house almost 10 years now together. But previously, he's been there 40 years at least. And some of these concerns here, junk, some people do what they can. My husband had his knee replaced, and we're in the process of taking care of our yard because we got a notice saying it was a nuisance. We moved into that house, and that's the house he grew up in. Like I said, we were using it kind of as a storage shed when we lived in town because it was holding my stuff, and I have 5 kids. And then we decided to move into it, and it needs a little work, but we had to live there too. So things go outside. We've been cleaning it up, but of course it's not going to be to what everybody else's standards are. The whole point of living outside of city limits is you have a little bit of land, you have a little bit of privacy, and you don't have to worry about somebody going and calling on you. My husband's hobby is fixing cars, like old cars, classic cars. So we have a few ourselves, and that's his hobby. He's down right now and can't do anything about it, which does not make our house a happy house, so it's not always happy wife, happy house. I'll tell you that right now. But some of their concerns, like dead sheep in the backyard, how do you know about that unless you're trespassing? Why can't we promote
But
other states?
What? Okay. No comment. This is our time right here.
Why can't we do what other states do? This is New Mexico, and we're not like other states, bless you. And I don't think that's even fair to compare, because then we need to put everything else up to that standard too, not just what needs to happen in the county. From the road, from the airport to the city, we live on Carroll, past Relief Route. That has nothing to do with it. They're not gonna see out there. We're not necessarily happy about how some people are out there, but sometimes I think it has to do with the fact that solar panels were not approved and that they were tried to come in, and we were not aware of those meetings for that until the last one, and I believe we were told on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day about the meeting, the very last meeting, so we all came up and supported that, and I believe it got denied. So I hope this doesn't have anything to do with that, because apparently this stuff was addressed maybe 20 years ago, and it was sitting on somebody's desk for a minute, and then all of a sudden it's coming back up. That's kind of not fair. And doctors can't come in. I do believe Roswell is a test market area, and we're not holding doctors here because they come here for their residency, I'm pretty sure. And they come here to make their mistakes, so to speak. Long story short, they got to go somewhere, and I do believe we can't hang on to them because they're not supposed to be here forever. And if they do stay, God bless them. That's cool. We appreciate it, you know, but I don't think those are valid reasons to put that up. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Fellow in the black cap.
My name is Hiram Hudson. I live on 1305 West Brown Road, or South Brown Road, rather. I had a couple of things, remarks that just basic sayings that everybody is aware of. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what looks terrible to some people looks good to other people. I know I'm one of the other people probably. When I go out of town, I look at these old ranches and farms with old dilapidated equipment and everything. I think that's pretty neat. I like a lot of the pictures like that. I wouldn't give 2 cents for some of the artwork that most people like. Everybody has their own definition of beauty. And one person's trash is another person's treasure. I'm sure y'all have all heard that. I bought a lot of stuff that other people didn't like. And the same thing, I won't buy stuff that other people like. But the ordinance, what I see in here is basically it's just a cleanup ordinance. And in the definition of public nuisance, who's going to make the determination? There's no criteria in here. Dilapidated mobile homes. I'm pretty familiar with Chaves County. I go all over this county, and it's a large county. Probably 80% of the mobile homes out in the county are dilapidated in one way or another. Who's going to determine what's dilapidated and what isn't? There's no clear definition here. Dangerous structures, that covers a lot of territory. Who's going to determine what ruins, rubbish, wreckage, trash is? There's no definitions of any of that stuff. Notification. The Planning and Zoning Department, upon learning of a public nuisance, where do they learn? Do they look on satellite photos and say, hey, we're going to clean up this area because we have a constituent here that's paid for my re-election campaign, we're going to clean this up? I have a problem with a lot of the wording in this ordinance myself. On Section 8, Commission action. If the public nuisance has not been abated within the time allocated, the P&Z director will proceed to the condemnation process. The condemnation resolution shall contain the following: address of the property. Now, I'm sure that most of you guys are aware that we have an ordinance where the county commission has to give the addresses And I know a lot of places out in the county that do not have addresses. How are you going to address that? They might have stuff on the lot description, but there's no addresses. I speak from personal experience because we've had this problem before. Appeal process, Section 7. Property owner has the right to appeal the county commission decision to condemn the property. The request for an appeal must be filed with the county clerk within 10 days, et cetera, et cetera. The county commission will conduct a public hearing which consider the appeal. Okay, if everybody denies the appeal process, there's nothing in this ordinance that allows you to appeal to the district court. That's a major flaw in my eyes. That would be what I would consider if I was trying to do an appeal. That would make it unconstitutional on its face, but that's just me. Enforcement. All costs associated with the abatement will be borne by the property owner. That appears to me like that's, I'm sure some of y'all that have legal experience are aware of the takings clause. So if you take person's property, you don't have to take the deed, but you take the person's property. You got a problem if they decide to take that to court. Can't appeal. You took their property without compensation. That's what a lien does. That person can't sell the property after that. I could go on and on and on about what I perceive as flaws in this ordinance, which would subject the county to some legal liability, in my opinion. I believe there's already processes we have a county zoning ordinance, and we have a ETZ ordinance. There's already processes in there to charge person criminally or do a civil enforcement proceeding. I think that the legal issues are already there in the ordinances that are already in existence here. Okay, D, Section 8. County manager has the authority to negotiate a settlement amount less than the divorce to allow the property owner to enter into a pay plan. I don't know if there's any legal authority to actually do that part by statute. The county commission can choose to foreclose the lien at any time. So if the county commission forecloses the lien, what does that entail? Does that mean they confiscate the property? How do you foreclose on something? Do you go after a person's bank account? That's subject to interpretation. Effective date. The ordinance is necessary for public peace, health, and safety of the residents of Chaves County and will therefore become effective immediately. Usually, in my understanding of the law, whenever it becomes effective immediately, that means this is an emergency ordinance. Otherwise, it takes 90 days for them to go into effect, and that way people have time to challenge it and so forth. So, I believe that this ordinance on its face is going to subject the county to some takings claims if they've already done stuff like this, or if they do it in the future. If you lien property where they can't do anything with it, they can't sell it, they can't borrow money on it, the bank's going to get after them. That might be a problem for legal liability for the county. And as a county resident pays taxes and so forth, I really don't want everybody's taxes to go up because of legal liability. I believe that we have pre-existing ordinances that covers this in graphic detail. We don't need resolutions out in the county. I don't know about most people, but everybody I know, they live out in the county for a reason, to get away from the excessive regulation and excessive ordinances and stuff that everybody knows that is in the city. There's a few more problems with this ordinance, but I'll yield my time to someone else.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Brian Davis. I live out there on Brown Road, 500 Brown Road. Thank you for calling me up here. So I looked at this ordinance that they want to try to pass, and, there's a lot of things that just really get under my skin about it. First of all, it sounds like they want a HOA for the whole county, Most of us that moved out to the country don't like HOAs. Go figure. Second, after going through the military, they'd come out there with a ruler, stick it in my grass, and call me and tell me if I don't go cut my grass because it's 1/4 inch too tall, that I'm going to get Article 15. For you not in the military, Article 15 is a fine. Also could be reduction in rank. So anyway, all this stuff just reeks of stuff bringing back. I read these definitions, and you want to talk about obscure. So on Section 4, they're talking about the health, safety, welfare, and comfort. And comfort. Well, that guy makes me uncomfortable. You know, no, I'm sorry, it's not about comfort. Someone has a problem with that, that's me. This is America. It's a very uncomfortable country. You want to talk about uncomfortable? Let's close the border. That really gets me uncomfortable. Anyway, so you go along and you talk about this stuff. Same thing with the dangerous structure. What's a dangerous structure? I mean, if I build a catapult in my backyard, that's pretty dangerous, but I could build it to specification. You know, so it's not a rickety old catapult. It's just I don't like my neighbor. He makes me uncomfortable. So they talk about the wreckage. You know, what's a wreckage? If someone sideswipes my truck, so it's all tore up now. Now I got to buy a new truck because I'm driving wreckage, you know? No. And this et cetera, et cetera. Where's et cetera stop? We don't like that political sign. First of all, someone driving, we don't like that religious sign. You're flying the wrong flag. You know, it's just so open-ended. It's whatever you guys don't like. You'll come up here and say, you need to fix this, we're seizing your property. Or we'll send a bulldozer over to knock down the fence that you put up, that pallet fence. We hate pallet fences. They're so tacky. But it works for me. It's my land. I got all this land to get away from everybody. I do. I live off-grid. I live by myself. My wife and I, we don't bother anybody. We keep an eye on our neighbor. I don't care what he's doing over there. It's not coming over here. That guy doesn't belong there. Let's call the sheriff. We'll have the sheriff investigate. That's what neighbors are all about. If my neighbors have a problem with me, they'll come over and go, hey, Brian, can you do something about the... And I go, yeah, sure, I do that. But to have some bureaucrat come by and say, we checked it out, and your weeds are just a little bit too tall, and we're going to send a county crew out here to cut those weeds on your 40 acres of weeds, so that's going to be about $10,000. I'm on Social Security. That's my income, Social Security. You know, well, since you can't pay, it looks like we're taking your property. I'm sorry about the rant, but yeah, I'm so opposed, along with most of these people here. We don't have much money. If we had a lot of money, we'd have the tall houses, we'd have the manicured lawns with the big trees, fences all the way around our property, barbed wire on top of them too, because we live in the country and we don't like it. I mean, give us a break, you know? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to allow you to speak, yes, ma'am. You'll be the last one.
First of all, I want to thank...
Your name and address, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Betty Jenkins, 1508 South Brown Road. I think that many people here, if we have not heard what we have to say, I beg you to please listen to us, because we all have different opinions, different needs, and I don't want that everybody comes and repeat what you guys have heard, because we need to respect your time. But at the same time, there are so many needs, so many things. This is extremely wide. It's extremely open. And I also believe that the people, the ladies, that they do not live in the county, they live in the city, they will focus in their needs, not try to control everybody else's. I mean, it's too much control. If I am not pretty and someone don't like me, I mean, especially if they have nothing to do with me, why they have to come and try to control me? What I am saying, that applies to property. What about if I have some sentimental value that my mother did something and she died when I was very young, which is the case? And then I want to keep it. Who can come and tell me, you cannot have this? What about a car? What about a car? Maybe some people will think, oh, this is trash, garbage. But what about if I think it's an antique and I want to keep it? This is so much wide, and I just please use our money that we make very hard to earn it, our taxes, in fixing youth, which is alive. Vehicles, cars, buildings are like the clothes, but there is for age, and there are very few things for youth to do here in Chavez County, and by that fact, all New Mexico. Like, we have to go up also to try to invest in activities for the younger people, more than be bugging and persecuting and chasing those who own a little bit. And they are, we all like to live in a very clean place, okay? We love it. But some people is, like in my case, my husband, 85 years old, and he loves to work. He has been workaholic. He has employed many people coming straight from jail throughout his years. And he also have employed people that they are very successful. Nowadays, he can work slowly, and no one should have the right to tell him, I don't like your work, because for 50 years, he has helped this community tremendously. But I am not talking about only one person. I am talking about many people who go, like a teacher I was talking yesterday. She is a helper with kids that they are coming from broken homes, from people who is drug addicts, and she works with her children, and she cannot afford, with all her work, she cannot afford to fix her house. And what I am saying is that our money, which I don't think we are billionaires, we should use it in a better use. We can put it into making activities for the younger people. We have, because what kids can do here? Watch television, go to school, and many parents are good and safe. But what happens to people when they can do video games, television, when they become teenagers? Some of them, not all of them, but they fell into drugs, alcohol, gangs, crime, so many other things, pregnancies. Who cares for an unborn child whose mother is an alcoholic? I mean, there needs, huge needs, and our time is valuable. We cannot live here forever. So I believe that we should put our efforts in people who really is in need. And they are people. They are not all cars, not a pile of trash. They are not trash. They are human beings. I'm sorry, but it breaks my heart to see that many people do not care for someone who calls them trash people. That is more important. I'm so sorry. But we have the rights to keep things that we value, that we work hard, that we pay taxes on. Sometimes we buy a car. We pay taxes on it, we fix it, but sometimes it comes broken. And we have to put food on our table. We choose to eat or fix the car. Well, I mean, we all want a cleaner place. And I go back to many people here. They have many things to say, different than what I have to say. And I wish you guys could have the time to listen to them. And again, we all want a clean place, and who doesn't live in Chavez County? They live in the city, focus in their city. And my nephew is a doctor. He just became a doctor a few months ago, and he will go to the end of the earth. Doesn't matter how clean or how dirty it is. He has a good heart, and he's a doctor for a reason, because he likes to heal the people. He is willing to give his time and work for free in the most abandoned villages. He's not at doctors. We are judging doctors very unfairly. Doctors are good people who have compassion and mercy in the ones in need. I'm sorry, I disagree in that we have to present flowers and buildings and money to people who is humble in their hearts.
Thank you. Anyone online? Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any comments, discussion? Well, we've already circled around this deal once. I don't want to. I'm not going to get into disputes.
Okay, it was just something that had been brought up. Does that right to speak? Now, it's an open meeting. The meeting being at 9 o'clock in the morning, we have a lot of friends and family that couldn't come. Usually, a lot of times they do this at 5:30 in the afternoon. Just want to make that comment.
Okay, come up and speak. Do you still want to speak?
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I'm sure she understands.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Commissioners?
Yeah, I'm going to go to council on this, Stan. We heard comments both for and against that basically alluded to due process. My understanding that if there is a final decision by the county commission, an aggrieved party has the right to go to district court, right?
Correct. State law allows that.
So because of existing statutes, we don't need to have a right of appeal to the district court in this ordinance, do we?
No, you already have that right.
Okay. So you're satisfied as far as the due process concerns that have been raised?
Commissioner Zell, yes, they have a right to appeal this to the county commission, and then the county commission will make a decision, as we already have, as you guys did earlier this year and late last year. You followed state law. This mirrors state law. The only difference, as Louis pointed out, is this gives the county manager the authority to negotiate and maybe do a pay plan if an individual requests that. And we have had that in the past. An individual did request that. Ultimately, they paid it because we really didn't have a lot of authority to enter into a pay plan. So that just gives this ability to do that. This mirrors state law. This is already allowed by the state to do this. This just puts in what the county is saying is the extra part of allowing the manager to negotiate and work that way. There are already liens that have been filed on pieces of property throughout the years once they were cleaned up. And we have not foreclosed on a piece of property. Our goal is not to own the property. The goal is to clean it up. Because if you do own it, then it comes off the tax rolls. And then you have to get permission from the state to sell it, in that they have to approve the sale, that you've got a fair price for it. So it's not something the county in the past has tried to foreclose on. They've just tried to clean it up. And that's the goal of this, is to clean up the property to where the county doesn't have to get involved in it.
And on the concern that was raised over there not being a procedure for lien foreclosure, That's also covered by existing statute, right?
Correct. If the county chose to foreclose, we would follow statute, state statute on foreclosures. And I will say the city has done some of that. They have foreclosed on some of those properties in the past. So it's not a new thing. Cities and counties do this from time to time. We have not chosen to do that. And I don't know if this commission in the future would choose to do that or not, but other entities have done that.
Okay. And does the proposed ordinance in any way conflict with the ETZ ordinance?
No. The ETZ ordinance or the P&Z ordinance doesn't cover cleanup of property, it covers zoning. Now, that doesn't mean you couldn't go revoke somebody's zoning, but it doesn't cover cleaning up a property per se. You can go in and charge someone with violating their zoning by storing vehicles or something like that. You could do that, and the county has done that in the past, but this ordinance really would be separate of that, and there are no criminal penalties in this ordinance. There's no civil penalties, there's no criminal penalties. It's just a cleanup. Please clean up your property, and if you don't, after the given amount of time, a reasonable amount of time, then it would come in front of the commission, and the commission would make a determination as to whether this is a public nuisance or not in a public hearing.
And jurisdictionally, in section 3, it says that the goal is, well, that its aerial extent, that it applies to the unincorporated areas of Chaves County.
Correct.
And unincorporated areas is a defined term.
Correct.
And so this would apply to the ETZ.
It would. It would apply to any area in the county
because the ETZ is outside of.
Correct.
City
Any area
limits.
that's not part of the city limits or town limits.
That's all
Do
I
you
have
have
right
it?
now.
You just sit down just a minute. We'll get to that. The commissioners need to talk about this, and we need to discuss it. And I'm pretty sure you want to dispute what's being said. No, just give me a minute, all right? I want to be fair about this. Everybody in the room is got something to say, and I'm trying to be fair about this, but we're not going to go back and forth about what's being said. Statute is statute. And I'm sure Lewis has that statute. If there's a question, you need to call him and get the statute and let him read it. You can look it up. Do you have anything else?
No, not right now.
Anyone else?
Is it fair to
Commissioner
say there's a state statute and there's also a city ordinance? Is that city ordinance comparable to this state statute and what we're proposing here?
I don't know. Lewis would have to answer that.
Well, the city ordinance has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, city ordinance doesn't have anything to do with the county, but.
Chairman, Commissioners, yes. If you notice, we call out also 4 – forgive me, I didn't bring my paperwork.
4-37-1.
That is because the original statute is said for municipalities, but under 417, we are, as a county, allowed to use this statute as well. So, yes, every city, every municipality, every county that does in fact have this type of ordinance.
I guess what I'm getting at is the language consistent throughout.
Consistent, yes. Must be consistent. Cannot be less than.
Other than the fact that it gives the county discretion as far as a payment plan or the amount of time that is not provided for specifically in the state statutes.
Correct.
Which is more reasonable.
Yes, it does give that.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I will say that city ordinances generally have a criminal element to them or a civil fine element to it. We chose not to put that in here because our goal is not to go make somebody pay extra money to the state and the magistrate court. The goal is to get the property cleaned up. So most city ordinances have a fine in there that, hey, you haven't cleaned it up, you have to pay X amount of money, and then they put a lien, they clean it up and they put a lien on the property. We're not going through the fine procedure here. You could, but we have chosen not to do that.
So it would be fair to say this is more in the vein of cooperative compliance.
Correct.
Thank you.
And the goal is certainly not to acquire the property.
Correct.
We don't want the property off the tax rolls. If the owner stops paying property taxes on it, then the state will sell it.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
We are presently operating then under a state statute, and the guidelines, in other words, the definitions are contained in that same state statute. So nothing's changing there, is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, correct.
I think the purpose is we all want to see a safe county. We're not going to go out and measure somebody's grass. What I think the county is looking at is dilapidated structures that are a safety hazard. We don't want people coming across and inhabiting unsafe structures that don't even have utilities. So I think the county does need a means to enforce this law and have a process. Part of a good ordinance is to protect the people.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, some of the issues that we've heard from Lewis and others, Mr. Clements and others, is a lot of properties within Chaves County are owned by out-of-state people, and most of them, I mean, they don't know what's going on the property. So we have squatters or whatever coming into those places, and we're seeing now the drug use coming in. Our sheriff can attest to that. He's seen it quite a bit. Stolen cars coming in, so most of the people that Lewis has been trying to work with and stuff are people, having to contact people that live out of state, out of town or whatever, and letting them know what's going on their property and trying to get it cleaned up. And most of the time, they're very understanding. Oh, we didn't know. I mean, if anybody has watched the news, you're seeing squatters are coming in, and they're coming into Chaves County, as Mike has told us. So we're trying to make sure that this is not happening in Chaves County, and also trying to make sure that those buildings or those cars, I mean, we have to go through a process, as Mike has explained to us, to make sure that those cars are not stolen. He checks VIN numbers. The houses that are on there, we've seen mobile homes that are falling apart and people trying to live in those mobile homes. We've had mobile homes with kids living in it that are falling apart, have no electricity, have no water, and we have people living in those mobile homes in that type of situation. And what we're trying to do is make sure that in Chaves County, we're not going to come on your property, like he said, and measure your grass and tell you that we don't like your fence or whatever. We're trying to make sure that we don't have a problem in Chaves County of illegal activity going on. And we're trying to do the due process according to state statute and trying to make sure that we keep on top of this through our planning and zoning and also through Mike. Mike has been very good, our sheriff's department, about kind of helping us out, making sure we do it the right way, the legal way, and trying to keep the citizens of Chaves County safe at the same time. because we are seeing some issues come through. That's all we're trying to do. Lewis does not get in a car and drive around and look at properties and go, oh, we need to send them a letter, or we need to go knock on your door and tell you you need to clean up your place. This isn't what this is about. This is about trying to keep on top of safe situations, illegal activity that's going on that we've heard from. Mr. Clements can tell you over and over. He's been here for 2 years trying to tell us what's going on in his neighborhood. And it's all illegal activity. Mike has given us updates every county commission meeting we have of what's going on in Chaves County. And folks, it'll scare the bejesus out of you. It's here. And so we're trying to make sure that we can stay on top of this stuff. And we can make sure that we are keeping you guys safe, the properties that are not being maintained, keep them safe, and trying to give Lewis a little bit of help and Mr. Clements a little bit of help with those neighbors that are begging us to please help get some of the situation cleaned up, because they're tired of living next to people that they cannot catch. Mike's having a hard time catching them. It's the illegal activity is here in Chaves County. That's all we're trying to do. You guys can live. I live in the county. My place isn't clean and beautiful. I'm trying to. You know, it's just me now. My husband is gone. It's just me now trying to maintain this property. And I'm doing the best I can too. But we're not going to go around and tell you how to live your life. We're trying to get some help here and trying to do the right thing and helping to make sure that our county and our citizens are safe. And that's what we're trying to do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? I realize you got more you want to say, and you can get up and debate back and forth what we've talked about and debate what our county lawyer has had to say. And there's no one up here wants to take your property. Nobody. But we have to have some things in place to ensure that those things, my tenure on the commission in my district, a couple of years ago, we had a house over there that there were homeless people living in. There were a meth lab there. There was trash everywhere. All the people that lived around that area, and there may be some of you in the room, I don't know. But they kept calling me as their commissioner, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, they were feeling their safety was not safe. And so we had to step in, and it was a long process to get all that done. But now, I notice now that particular home, the people who own the land sold it, and there's some people live there now that have children, and it's a productive place. But most of those places someone else owns that do not live in Chaves County. You guys are residents of Chaves County. You pay taxes here. A lot of the places that we have to deal with are not people that live here. And it affects you as a citizen of Chaves County. So. Do what?
He had the opportunity to speak twice. Maybe.
I want to know if you find us and you bankrupt us, then we just lose everything.
You just said we didn't.
Well,
We can't find
we
you.
can't fine you.
Tires and telephone poles. That might be trash to somebody else, but it's our home.
But we can't fine you. It's not in this. We can't fine you.
Crime is everywhere. I mean, every city has crime. Not because
Okay.
some trash is here, it's not gonna be crime. Crime is, I mean, no one wants crime.
Well, commissioners, I'm going to call for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve and adopt ordinance number O-115, Chaves County Public Nuisance Abatement Ordinance.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Perry, for approval of the Chaves County Public Nuisance Ordinance Abatement Ordinance 0-115. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Ask for opposed.
Is there anyone opposed? I'm sorry. Motion carries.
Just wanted that on the
Did you
record.
get it?
Yeah, on the record.
Did you get it?
Okay, we're going to move on to agenda item number 2. Agreement of A-24005, approval of agreement between Chaves County and Hagerman Forward, Inc.
Yeah, I'm not touching it with it. They don't understand that. Obviously, they don't understand.
You're up, Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Agenda Item Number 2 is Agreement A-24-005, which is an agreement between Chaves County and Hagerman Forward. We've had several meetings with the City and County Behavioral Health Advisory Committee, and they have recommended to bring forward an approval for this agreement in the amount of $55,000. This agreement will have Hagerman Forward, Inc. conduct a system of care assessment and blueprint for the needs of the county citizens that need behavioral health services, including opioid disorder abuse, mental health, housing, education, peer services, and many other community-based services. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions for Annabelle?
Annabelle, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, I almost called you Commissioner, Council Arnold, I'm so sorry, I didn't talk to Dan this morning, I usually do. Do you know if he's going to be here?
I thought he was, but I haven't seen him.
Okay. He's probably.
Please talk into the microphone if you're
Yeah.
going to talk,
Please.
because people
Yeah.
online are listening.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I thought Dan was, but I wanted to make
Okay.
sure that I was here if you guys have any questions.
Okay. He's probably stuck at the corner of Hobson and 285 where they're putting in that light. Thank you very much. We have been talking about this. We've been working with Hagerman Forward for 2 years now, trying to get our behavioral health in Chaves County and working on the opioid funding. So this is kind of one of the first pieces of the big, huge puzzle that we've been working out with. And Dan Jennings and Hagerman Forward have been helping us along the way, trying to fit this puzzle together. So I appreciate Dan stepping up and Hagerman Forward and 100% Chaves County working on this. So yes, go ahead.
So actually, I'm actually very excited about this step because the 2 years that Commissioner Dana and I have put into this, it's taken us a minute to recognize that in order to really define where you're headed, you need a map. And Hagerman Forward is who we've looked at to help us create that blueprint so that Chaves County and the city, working in tandem with the opioid funding, have a proper plan and procedure to proceed forward in a productive manner and not waste the money that has come at lives of many other people. So that's why I'm very excited about this step, because yes, it is one of our most productive things that have come out of our subcommittee.
Yes, and we're getting there. The map has taken us in several different directions, but we're getting there. So I appreciate Annabelle working with us so much on this, and Bill has attended our meetings too. So I really, and you guys, this is going to be great. There's going to be all sorts of other pieces to the puzzle coming along the way. So I appreciate your help with this, Annabelle.
And thanks to Stan also for his help.
Thank you, Stan.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Ezell.
Okay, we're gonna spend $55,000. 25,000 is to come up with a plan. 20,000 is a plan to implement the plan. 10,000 is to present the plan. Who's gonna pay for implementing the plan?
So this contract will be paid out of the opioid settlement funds that the city and the county has received. So it'll be coming out of that specific fund. And we are going to be the fiscal agent paying for that contract.
But it doesn't say that Hagerman Forward is gonna do anything other than come up with a plan, come up with another plan to implement the plan, and then present the plan to us.
So the plan is.
The plan has to cost money to implement.
Yeah.
It will.
Or are they coming back to us after this 55 for more?
No, not from what I understand from the meetings. This is just to help us also get the scope of work and the wording that is needed for these RFPs that we will have to go out for. Or if there's any RFIs, and that will be done at that point as well. But that'll help us get the exact wording that we're going to be needing to be going out for these services.
Will there be another proposal in April of 2025? And if so, for how much money?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is just a plan to move forward. This entity, I don't foresee coming back a year from now. What I see is a plan to move forward. Possibly could be this entity or another entity, but this is the planning stage. It will be the planning report, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. No, actually, I have, as subcommittee chair, I have basically said I want this established within 6 months. So no, because we need to move forward, and considering that we've combined our funding, we need to know what that looks like. So as far as Hagerman Ford being part of the equation, I do not foresee that incoming more for planning. There's a lot to be implemented because there is a lot of opioid funding. And I think it was prudent of the county manager and Commissioner Dana to understand that as the city and the county are working together to combine funding, I think there's some transparency required and some direction as to where that funding should go. But we are not specialists in behavioral health, and we need a direction from Hagerman Forward. But to answer your question, no, I do not foresee this coming back for more funding for planning.
And I'll just say the opioid funding is taking care of this and will be in other, the focus of the opioid funding is for the behavioral health and trying to implement our behavioral health collaboration between city and county.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Any other discussion? Once you get this, Commissioner Dana, once you get this put in, what we're looking at right here, then will they come back and put it in front of the commission, kind of what the plan is and where we're going and what the cost and where those funds will come from?
We're kind of think about it like the DWI funding and what we do with the DWI funding. That's kind of what we're looking at. But our opioid funding is going to be the mental health and the behavioral health end of it. So yes, we will have to come back, just like we do with the DWI, and have to vote on that when we go out for RFPs for the different providers, stuff like that. So yes, we will be coming back. Even though it's opioid funding, we have combined city and county opioid funding for this. This is the direction that we were given when we went to the summit 2 years ago with Judge Hudson and trying to figure out how we can implement the behavioral health, the jail diversion, the peer diversion. There's all sorts of, we're working with Mr. Briscoe on that end of it too, the peer diversion, the jail diversion. When they come out of jail, how do we get them the mental health piece and stuff like that? But again, this is the opioid funding. This is not the county funding. This is opioid funding. And this is the direction that the guidance from the opioid funding has. They want us to work on behavioral health. And so we took the behavioral health piece plus the jail diversion piece plus the peer diversion piece, trying to get all of this implemented through the opioid funding for right now. So yes, you will see all sorts of stuff coming through.
I don't have any questions unless someone else does. Do you have another comment?
I do,
Yes.
I hadn't heard it stated, and you might already know, but the amount of opioid funding is pretty extensive. At this point, we have a combined over $3 million. So, and I think expected, please correct me, Annabelle, if I'm incorrect, but we're actually looking at $5 million and maybe more. So that's why I was saying it is prudent of us to actually make sure we're on top of this, because that's a great deal of money. And we can actually do a great deal of good things together with that amount. So absolutely, I will be here as much as possible.
Okay, thank you.
And let me say, the collaboration between the city of Roswell and Chaves County has been absolutely wonderful. We're working well. We're trying to actually come up with plans and come up with programs that work, because that's going to be my focus. Is I don't mind you having a program, but you better bring me results to that program. Mr. Briscoe knows that too. He's heard my spiel with that too. So we're trying to alleviate Mr. Briscoe's inmate population. I have told people from the very beginning when we went to the summit with Judge Hudson, our county jail here in Chaves County, we have 33 counties. We've heard this from all 33 counties at New Mexico counties. Our jails are not our mental health institutions, and our jail is not going to be it, because you cannot, our healthcare people cannot do that, and they try to as much as they can. So we are trying to work with that population that has the behavioral health and trying to get them into proven programs and to put that person from beginning to end, walk them through the programs. That way they go off and do great things instead of coming back to you, Mr. Briscoe, over and over and over. We see that, we hear that at New Mexico counties all the time. Our jails are not where you get your mental health. Your mental health, we have wonderful providers here in Chaves County. We know, we've met with them all. Now we have to take that person and walk them through the program and make sure that they come out productive and happy and caring and wonderful citizens. That's our goal with this money.
Okay, there you go. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Agreement A-24-005 between Chaves County and Hagerman Forward.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Day, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of Agreement A-24-005. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 3, Resolution R-24-009.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. This request is for the approval of Resolution R-24-009, reporting the 2024 Chaves County certified road mileage to the New Mexico Department of Transportation. As required by Section 66-6-23 NMSA, Chaves County is required to report annually a total number of certified miles to the Secretary of Highway and Transportation. This report is for the purpose of funding the counties for road maintenance purposes. The reported mileage for 2024 is 1,405.73 miles, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, sir.
Is that
Mr. Chairman.
up or down from last year?
It is up slightly.
And that's just actually on the roads that we are maintaining, right?
Correct.
It doesn't take into consider non-commissioned roads or anything like that?
Does not.
Okay. I want that on record.
You're correct, sir.
Commissioner Taylor.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-24-009, reporting the 2024 Chaves County Certified Road Mileage to New Mexico Department of Transportation in the amount of 1,405.73 miles.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of Resolution R-24-009. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 4. Resolution R-24.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and County Commissioners. Before I begin, I just want to thank all the departments for completing their fiscal inventory for fiscal year '24. I know they absolutely love it. Agenda item number 4 is Resolution R-24-010, which is a deletion of property and proposed disposition. Your approval of this resolution will allow staff to remove the attached inventory. Exhibit A has all the assets listed. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions?
Lots of good stuff. I need that ice machine.
Lucia, whenever you put all this up, does it all go away, or?
Yes,
It does.
somebody ends up buying it.
Somebody actually
Yes.
ends up buying it.
I've always
There's-
wondered that.
I did too.
We had a buyer that just bought all the scrap metal from the old courthouse elevator. They bought all that metal.
Would you go back through and delete beyond repair and/or obsolete for in all the descriptions? We might get more money for them.
True. I need a shredder too. No, just kidding.
Just put the sold as is.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've learned a thing or two.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughters have told me I can't buy anything else, so. Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R-24-010, deletion of property.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Day, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of Resolution R-24-010, deletion of property. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, real quickly also, if Andrew would, at the end of the meeting, check the serial numbers on your laptop or your tablets, because we do need that for our inventory. It's easier for him just to take a quick look, and so give him just a moment after the meeting. Agenda item number 5 is for support for the National Center for Public Lands Counties. Chaves County received $7.86 million from the Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund, the LATCF. LATCF monies were dispersed to public lands counties across the West, largely in part due to the efforts of the National Association of Counties. This resolution is to support using the equivalent of 1% of these funds from the general fund to aid in the establishment of a Center for National Public Lands Counties. Staff recommends approval, and with your permission, I'd like to read that.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Resolution R-24-011, a resolution supporting funding the NACO Center for National Public Lands Counties. Whereas on September 29, 2022, the United States Department of the Treasury announced the release of Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund, LATCF, for eligible revenue-sharing counties whose revenues had been negatively impacted by government programs over the last 20 years. And whereas Chaves County has approximately 34% federal public lands within its boundary and relies upon revenues from federal government in the form of payment in lieu of taxes and secure rural schools. And whereas Chaves County received $7.86 million in local assistance and tribal consistency funds due to the negative impacts from a reduction in payment in lieu of taxes, PILT, payment amounts, or non-funding of secure rural schools, SRS, by the federal government. And whereas Chaves County is a public lands county, as are most counties in the western states, And whereas public lands counties throughout the West are consistently fighting against government overreach, changing priorities, subjective policy interpretations, and weaponization of conservation practices to unfairly and illegally limit certain multiple uses on public lands by federal agencies, and whereas the National Association of Counties, NACO, supports public land issues and Chaves County has maintained a strong presence in the NACO Western Interstate region and on the NACO Public Land Steering Committee, and whereas NACO is one of our best avenues for assuring that all members of Congress are aware of the needs of our public lands counties rely upon to provide for our families and our nation, and whereas NACO is the first place that our public lands counties turn to when needing information or assistance in any of the matters that are unique to our western lands, and whereas the diligent work done for decades by NACO is largely responsible for making Congress aware of the negative impacts that they've had on our counties, which ultimately resulted in the LATCF disbursements, and whereas NACO has requested that all counties who have received the benefit of LATCF funding set aside the equivalent of 1% of the total amount received to be used to fund the Center for National Public Lands Counties, and whereas it's been clearly demonstrated that a Center for National Public Lands Counties administered by NACO would be extremely beneficial to all the public lands counties. Now therefore be it resolved by the Chaves County Board of Commissioners supports the creation of a Center for National Public Lands Counties and funds in the amount of $78,609, 1% equivalent, from the Chaves County General Fund be used to aid in its establishment. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Any discussion or questions?
What are they going to do with the money?
They're hiring people to help address the issues that we have in the western United States. So whenever we're, for instance, fighting the 30 by 30 or the U.S. Forest Service, we can go to them for the numbers and the information that we need, you know, kind of, I hate to say in real time, but I mean, we won't have to research for hours and hours to find out what the Forest Service has done in this area. They'll have that information available, et cetera.
How many tens, if not hundreds of millions
They're
is
hoping
1% from every public lands
They're hoping
county?
that they will get a commitment of about $10 to $12 million to establish this thing and to run it in perpetuity. And NACO has been very helpful to us in many, many things, like say, including anytime there's an issue, we carry forth a resolution. In fact, Commissioner Perry and I plan to carry forth 2 resolutions at the NACO annual conference through the Public Land Steering Committee that represent issues that we have in the West. And that's the kind of things that the Public Lands Center would do for all of us, to be able to provide us the assistance in pursuing those issues that we have. The 2 issues that we are going to carry forward as a platform for that committee are the natural asset companies. We would like to put forth resolution to get it as a platform item for NACO, for the Public Lands Steering Committee, to get that in front of Congress, that we, as all the western states, oppose that. And the second one is a reform of the Endangered Species Act. Those are just 2 of the policies that this particular committee stands for, and all of the policies that they stand upon are things that pertain to all the western states. Commissioner Korn and Commissioner Cavan carried forth the endangered species one in the past. Commissioner Perry is planning to do that this year, and then of course we'd like to add the natural asset companies to that. Thank you.
Bill, NACO, they're the ones that will be they'll be the ones distributing these funds and hiring the people that needs to be.
Right, it's basically setting up a research center that all members of NACO, but certainly the western states who rely upon incomes from public lands, making sure that those items are really brought forth in the best manner to help us fight.
Will each commission have some say-so on
Yes, as,
representation?
yeah, any member of NACO would have authority to request things, but certainly the public land states, the Western Interstate Region, which Chaves County is a part of, and also the Public Land Steering Committee, which Commissioner Perry and myself are a part of, are voting members in that particular committee.
Okay.
Commissioner Bilber, if I may, to give you an
Commissioner
idea of, to give you an idea of what we're working on now or what's going on right now, some of that, NACO is doing a very good job at giving us the opportunity in a sounding board to give information against the Forest Service's old growth definition of timber, and which in tune really hurts economies on Forest Service associated. If we didn't have that sounding board, it'd be very hard to get our thoughts and processes onto that platform, so that steering committee could then go lobby for those kind of activities.
Okay. Any more discussion?
If there's no more discussion, I'd like to move to approve Resolution R-24-001 in support of the National Center of Public Lands Counties.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Taylor, for approval of Resolution R-24-011, support for the National Center for Public Lands Counties. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And let the minutes reflect it was Resolution 24-011. I think he said 001. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ezell. Agenda item number 6, Resolution R-24-012.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 6 is Resolution R-24-012, which is a budget adjustment resolution for fiscal year 2024. The line items in Exhibit A are being requested by the Finance Department for approval. They're for the COVID grant that the detention center is currently receiving, some insurance recovery funding, an increase in property and liability insurance costs, and also the participation for the NACO establishment that you just approved in Resolution R-24-011. Staff recommends approval.
Any discussion or questions?
On the expenditure, it says that the NACO is for a construction project. Are they going to build a building with this
No.
money, or?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I think the object code just fell under the project and it was construction. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of Resolution R-24-012 for the budget adjustment.
There a second?
Yes, second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Taylor, for approval of Resolution R-24-012, a budget adjustment resolution for year of 2024. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 7 is a resolution in support of a letter to the governor requesting New Mexico resources be used to assist in securing the Mexican border. This resolution in support of a letter drafted by counties in New Mexico requesting that the governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, declare a state of emergency regarding the fentanyl crisis, human smuggling, and crime rates in New Mexico. It suggested that Governor Grisham make use of the resources of the state of New Mexico to assist in securing the international border in New Mexico by providing New Mexico resources to assist the federal government in managing the border crisis. Additionally, this resolution would allow the chairman to sign the letter on behalf of the entire Chaves County Board of Commissioners. I've included a copy of the letter that was drafted by counties in New Mexico that they're asking us to be a part of, and with your permission, I'll read the resolution, which kind of recaps what that letter says. Resolution R-24-013, a resolution supporting a letter to Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham requesting New Mexico resources to assist in securing the Mexican border. Whereas on February 23, 2024, a letter was drafted by counties in New Mexico requesting that Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham declare a state of emergency regarding the fentanyl crisis, human smuggling, and crime rates in New Mexico, and whereas the letter describes the fentanyl crisis in our state, declaring fentanyl an imminent threat to public health which requires urgent intervention, and whereas the letter goes on to point out that human smuggling practices and criminal organizations taking advantage of our border, ultimately labeling the practice a humanitarian crisis, and whereas the letter relays the Federal Bureau of Investigation's crime rate statistics from 2020, which show New Mexico is ranked number 2 in violent crime, reflecting the need for targeted intervention, and whereas the apprehensions of illegal aliens by the United States Border Patrol has skyrocketed since the last emergency declaration in 2005 by then Governor Bill Richardson, having nearly doubled to 2,214,652 persons in 2022, and whereas the drafted letter reiterates the fact that this is not a partisan political issue as it affects Democrats and Republicans alike, and whereas these interconnected issues have strained our respective limited governmental resources to the breaking point, and whereas a respectful appeal to utilize the resources of the state of New Mexico to assist the federal government in their jurisdictional duties is ultimately requested, and whereas each county listed on the draft letter has been asked to present this to their respective boards of commissioners requesting their support and signature. Now therefore be it resolved that the Chaves County Board of Commissioners supports the request made by these multiple counties in the proposed letter and desires to sign the letter to show support for these requested actions. Be it further resolved that Chairman Bilberry sign the letter on behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners of Chaves County, New Mexico, done this 21st day of March 2024 at Roswell, New Mexico, Chaves County. Let's stand for any questions.
Any questions for Bill?
You really sure we're safe in asking the governor to declare a state of emergency?
No, I am not. And in response to that,
I can see it now. She's going to require all of the illegal aliens to wear masks and not go to school.
The letter, the manager's affiliate, several of the managers in the affiliate weighed in on this letter and put it together. I personally didn't have a part of it, but that's where the letter actually came from, and the request came from New Mexico counties and the manager's affiliate.
Do you have any idea how many counties are
Likely to sign?
likely to sign it?
I do not. I would guess that people in the south of I-40 would probably have a higher percentage than the persons north of I-40, but that's just a wild guess.
I think
East I-25?
I'm with you. I think there will be just a few that will not, because this has been a top topic of New Mexico County's Board of Directors too. There's only been a few.
Second.
Is there a motion? Or more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R-24-013, support for letter to Governor requesting New Mexico resources to assist in securing the Mexican border.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Daines, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of Resolution R-24-013. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 8. My computer's on the blink.
Item number 8 is the recommendation to award J&H Services for ITB 24-6 Corn Ranch EWP repair. I'm also requesting to approve authorization for the chairman to sign the agreement upon execution. Chaves County solicited bids for ITB 24-6 Corn Ranch EWP repair. Bids were received on February 27th of 2024, and they're as follows. J&H Services of Albuquerque, New Mexico for $2,924,543 without GRT. And the second of Constructors, Inc. of Carlsbad, New Mexico for $4,316,925 without GRT. Both bids were responsive and reviewed for compliance by USDA, NRCS, and staff. Staff recommends approval.
Anyone have any questions? Brian, do you have any comments from flood control or anything?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I don't have any comments, but I would stand for any questions.
Okay. Would you kind of walk the rest of the commissioners through why this project is there and what it's all about?
This is an emergency watershed protection program grant. We're partnering with the NRCS and the state of New Mexico to do some channel armoring with gabion baskets, wire baskets full of rock, and mattresses along the bottom. It's to protect a couple agricultural structures and the overall health of the watershed downstream from accelerated erosion.
Macho or Salt Creek?
The Macho.
Thank you.
That's in a nutshell.
And all this is just coinciding with the NRCS and what they're doing. I mean, all the steps are being taken. As it all gets approved, it'll all be implemented. Am I understanding that right, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We're just at the point where we need to award the contract to a contractor.
Okay. And NRCS, have they approved their part of it?
They've approved a portion of it. The bids came in a little bit high. They're in the process. As of yesterday, I hadn't heard back of getting a little bit more money approved. We're in a position where we can cover the difference as the Flood Commission while we're still searching out more funding opportunities. But we're in a pretty good place right now. We budgeted for this last year and didn't spend any of it due to the time it's taken to get to this point.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, you have any more questions for okay. Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the award of the bid to J&H, where is it? J&H Services for the Corn Ranch EWP repair.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Perry.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Does that include authorizing the chairman to sign the agreement?
Yes.
That is in there, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No one opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 9.
Thank you. Chairman, Commissioners, item number 9 is a request for approval to terminate AIA Agreement A24-001 with Mirador Enterprise for ITB 24-2 rebid of the PVRCC renovation. Staff requests approval to terminate the agreement with Mirador Enterprises pursuant to Section 20.3, termination by the owner for convenience of the agreement signed in December of 2023. The decision has come forth after review and discussion with legal counsel. Staff recommends approval for contract termination.
Why are we terminating it?
To not get into much of the details, we couldn't secure a complete subcontractors listing after contract had been awarded. And we couldn't move forward with the project.
So we will have to go out for rebid?
We don't have to go out for rebid. This has already been the second rebid. We can go out to the open market, bring people back to the table. We just haven't had those discussions yet on how we're going to do it. We can advertise, we can solicit more. It just doesn't have to be as formal as the original ITBs do.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the approval of the termination of AIA agreement number A-24-001.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Giselle, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of the ITB-24-2, the PVRCC renovation agreement, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. Agenda item number 10 is the 2024 Chaves County Annual Road Hearing Freeholders Report and Application Summary. And they are in your packet. Submitted are the freeholders reports for their viewing of the 2024 road applications. As a reminder, the public hearing for the submitted applications is April 18th, next month. In accordance with the Chaves County Road Policy, the County Commission is required to view the road subsequent to the public hearing. Staff would remind the County Commission at next month's meeting, they will be asked to reserve a day between April 23rd and April 26th to view roads. It could, and in fact, probably will take more than half a day. Moving on, Chaves County received a total of 3 road hearing documents for 2024. Initially, I had told you 2, and I failed to put one on February's agenda. One road vacation was requested by the road department, which was the one I failed to show on in February. 2 status change requests were submitted per landowners. And on Thursday, March 7th, 2024, the Chaves County Board of Freeholders went for site visits at each of this year's requests of the roads. In every instance, the freeholders voted unanimously for their final recommendations. And here are the applications as follows. Application number 1 was a status change request, Carrizozo Road. Mr. Borg is requesting Chaves County assume maintenance of Carrizozo Road, which is approximately 1.43 miles of across BLM land. Freeholders unanimously recommended that this application should be approved in accordance with the current road policy. Unless there's any questions or comments, I'll move on to application number 2. Was another status change request, Sergeant Canyon Road. Mr. Bennett is requesting Chaves County assume maintenance of Sergeant Canyon Road, approximately 10 miles. Freeholders unanimously recommended that this application be denied in accordance with the current road policy.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, if I could give you a quick update on
Yes.
that. I spoke with the local BLM office. This is one of those situations, Sergeant Canyon Road. The county cannot vacate this road because it provides primary access to public lands. However, it's a long stretch of road that gets washed out often, so the cost of maintaining it could be high. The Bureau of Land Management, in this case, they want it to stay open because it provides the access to their lands. They are willing to put forth some money to improve it. And then the third part of this equation is that the landowner's kind of caught in the middle of this whole thing. He needs the ability to travel down this road and take care of his cattle, do whatever he needs to do on the ranch, but he cannot work on the county road without special permission, which we're working on streamlining that ability for him to do it. And the hunters have the right to go down the right-of-way to get to the hunting grounds, but they do not have the right to leave the county road, or even though it's not maintained, they can't go out in the pasture to get where they're going. So it's kind of a bad situation for everybody all the way around. So we probably need to definitely pursue something with the BLM office, and they're receptive to that. They say they have some funding. They plan to be here at next month's public hearing, and they also plan to be on site, on the ground, where we can kind of discuss this with the landowner, with the BLM, with the commission, and any other parties that are interested on the ground. Thank you.
Alex, would you do something? Yes, sir. For us before the next meeting, before the hearing, and find out when the last time this road was actually maintained and how long it's been out of maintenance.
Absolutely.
And even if it was just bladed once a year, you know, not a full, but could you find out that information? Maybe Angelo and some of those guys down there at the road department can figure that out. But
You recall, Angelo, off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, no, we maintain a portion of Sergeant Canyon, you know, looking at my records.
But before the next meeting, if y'all would do that, so we have that information here, it'd be kind of
Certainly.
fair and balanced view of it.
We can do,
Thank you.
Commission. Okay, if no more discussion, application number 3 was a road vacation request. Chaves County Road Department submitted that request for Cat Road, which is 3/4 of a mile. And based on it being private land, it was essentially a driveway to residents. Freeholders unanimously recommended that this application be approved in accordance with the current road policy.
Any questions? Entertain a motion?
No action
No
is
action.
requested.
It's not, no request, it's for your information
My favorite kind of agenda.
All right,
item.
sorry.
and for follow-up next month.
I'm
Yes.
just trying to get through this,
Thank you.
but the next one probably will. take-
Next one takes vote.
Okay, agenda number 11 is permission to publish for 2024 public hearing, road public hearing. This request is for advertising the 2024 Chaves County road hearing at the regular meeting of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners scheduled to be on April 18th.
Mine done too.
I move we approve the publication of the notice of the public road hearing.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Taylor for permission to publish for the 2024 public road hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Agenda item number 12 is a request for out-of-state travel for our Sierra Volunteer Fire Department. Sierra Volunteer Fire Department is requesting approval for out-of-state travel for up to 5 firefighters. The Volunteer Fire Department will be visiting Siddons Martin Emergency Group Plant for final inspection of 2 pre-ordered pumper apparatus vehicles. Travel will be approximately the week of April 15th. The crew will be trained on operation and use of the apparatus. Expenses associated with this request will be covered by the vendor.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve out-of-state travel for the Sierra Volunteer Fire Department for their visit to the Siddons Martin Emergency Group plant.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ezell, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of a request of out-of-town travel for Sierra Volunteer Fire Department. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commission. My last one, I promise. Request for out-of-state travel for Berendo Volunteer Fire Department. Berendo Volunteer Fire Department is requesting approval for out-of-state travel for Sherry Gibson. She will be attending the ESO training in Austin next month. Cost for the travel will be paid for under the department's training expense line. Staff
Chairman?
recommends approval.
Mr. Chairman, I
Commissioner Taylor.
move for approval of request for out-of-state travel for the Brendo Fire Department.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Ezell for request of out-of-town travel with Berendo Fire Department. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. I'm at somewhat a disadvantage, guys, because my computer is down.
No.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Good morning,
Bless you.
Chairman, Commissioners. This is for the Law Enforcement Protection Fund 2024-2025. We are requesting approval of this application. It's going to be for $150,500 And I'll do a breakdown on that just so you kind of know where that's being spent. $16,000 goes towards the K-9's monthly additional pay. They get $666 and, 66 cents per K-9 officer every month. And that is because the dogs live with them, as well as all the training and everything that they do. So that's important that we give them that extra money. We also put $10,000 into this for employee training and registration fees, $11,500 into travel, training, and per diem. And then $56,500 goes into ammunition, targets, and other things, but the majority of that is spent on ammunition and for training, practice, and normal everyday carry. And then we have $56,500 goes into non-expendable supplies, which are the guns, flashlights, radios, crime scene equipment, just different things that we're using. Most of it goes into the computers and whatever else we may need for that, firearms as well. So the total is $150,500. Also, we do have a list of every deputy that we have, which is 36 deputies right now that are qualified under the LEPF funding. And we do have one that is in the academy right now. And also, we do have extra funding for our school resource officer, which is Olivia Padilla. And we do have her certificate and everything included in your packet as well. And here in the very near future, I hope to have the second school resource officer in place. So any questions that you have for me? Staff recommends approval.
Any questions for Mike?
Mr. Chairman, in the regular salaries for K-9, is there treats involved too?
Better than we get, and you can tell we get pretty good.
He doesn't get
Yeah.
paid, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got to have
yeah.
treats.
He gets a rubber toy,
All right.
so I don't know what that means.
You're talking about Felix?
Yeah, Felix.
He passed me
all
this
of them.
morning coming in.
Yeah.
Commissioners?
Chairman, I move to approve agenda item number 14, the Law Enforcement Protection Fund, the approval of the application by Sheriff Harrington.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana for approval of Law Enforcement Protection Fund. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda
Thank you.
item 15. Thank you, Mike. Lewis, you're up.
Chairman, Commissioners, this is agenda item number 15. Last but not least, it is Chavez County Land Council reappointments. We are requesting that you reappoint 3 existing members to the Chavez County Land Council. That is Kim Chesner, Chuck Wagner, and Jeff Harvard. They will be serving a term of 3 years per resolution 94-59.
And who'd you say for Harvard? Jeff?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Harvard. Also included in your packet was the members list currently. As you approved per resolution, our resolution last month, we did adjust the membership from 9 to 6. I would like to report that 5 of the 6 did attend last week's meeting, and it was a very successful meeting. And we are getting great participation from federal and state agencies. So they were very informative.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Lewis, because one of the members was very happy that they actually got to have a meeting. So it's a very important council, very important council. So I'm glad we're moving forward and we're actually getting some work done. Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the Chaves County Land Council reappointments of Kim Chesser, Chuck Wagner, and Jeff Harvard.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Ezell for approval of the Chaves County Land Council reappointments. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approval of checks.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of checks in the amount of $2,525,612.58.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Taylor, second by Commissioner Dana for approval of checks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve reports.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Taylor for approval of reports. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm trying to catch up now. Motion carries. Okay. We're going to move into our unscheduled communications, which are limited to 3 minutes per visitor and not to exceed 15 minutes, and there will be no formal action taken by the commission. And I'm going to let you speak a minute, but Ms. Rita Kane Dorhofer is first in line at my meetings, and I'll let you speak after her.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Rita, get name and address, and you got 3 minutes.
I need more than 3 minutes.
But talk fast.
Rita Kane Dorhofer, very narrow, unstriped Chicago Cubs mailbox, Mark Road. All right. Number one, if you could all take into consideration when you go out to visit these properties that you let me know the date, because I have a big conflict that week that will affect all of you. All right, now this is KCCB, so that's why I need more than 3 minutes. KCCB is heading up the programs for the summer for the Boys and Girls Club. I am getting one of our commissioners, she always goes with me to make sure I stay in line. Anyway, the programs are, we're doing the Master Gardeners if they can, or I will ask the Extension Office if they would help. The sheriff has agreed we're going to dress a sheriff, thank God for Olivia, and a fireman. Don't forget, these kids, we're not going to do the 6-year-olds. I can't take them. There's not enough chocolate in the world for 6-year-olds. We're going to dress them, because the only time that some of them see the police or the sheriff is when they're at their house arresting people. So this way we're going to make it very, very friendly. We're doing the legal branch and the legislative branch, and Dara has volunteered and Bill will volunteer, or Alex. Then for the judicial branch, I asked Judge Mason, and we could go to the courthouse. If they're letting the people in the courthouse, we may need an escort from the sheriff. Okay, then we're going to the landfill, one of my favorite places to go to. Literally, the kids love the landfill. Then we're doing the water department. We're doing BLM. Smokey Bear is coming down on July 30th. Dara, I definitely need you there. We'll have 50 kids. I have not gone to the jail. I have not asked 911, nor have I asked voting, because I think these children need to start seeing what we do as Chaves County. We're writing a grant. I've already talked to the Extension Office. I've already talked to the jail. We start preliminaries, 2 hours on Tuesday, 3 hours on Wednesday, 4 hours on Thursday. Then we put it all together and we submit it. So if you have anything that you want done, I need it. Thank you for doing exactly what I needed from you. All right, does anybody have any questions? We are going to be planting at the Joy Center. We have about 22 programs, but again, there's not enough chocolate in this world that I can deal with these kids 22 times during the summer. So I'm breaking it up. So if I call you, please do not say no. Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to volunteer to be with me besides Commissioner Dara? You aren't scared of these kids, are you? You know, there's about 50 of them from 6 years old to about 12. All right, any questions? And you will sign the grant before it's approved, right, Bill?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. There you go.
There you go.
As you can see, Rita does a lot,
I
does
used
a
to-
lot.
She was on the radio a lot.
Yeah,
and that's
she's
where I
good.
recognized
Yeah.
your voice.
Name and address again, please. for-
Victoria Cardona, 309 Carroll Avenue, and it's just a little statement
Yes, ma'am.
towards previously. I don't want to point any more negative stuff, but our trash truck keeps breaking down. So I know that doesn't help when it's going to lift our trash and it drops the trash can full of trash. That contributes to some of the trash out there.
Would you speak into the microphone, please?
Yes, sir. Did you hear what I said, or would you like me to repeat it?
Repeat it, please.
That the trash truck
Yes.
that goes out there, it breaks down quite often. And that doesn't help with the whole trash situation outside city limits. I had a boss at one point, because I worked for the school district when I was a custodian with them. And it was Daryl, and I was a substitute custodian. And one of his things was he wanted people to come to him, not just with the problem, but with the solution. And I didn't think about this earlier. It didn't hit me till after, but why don't you give, or is there any possible way and how you go about doing that to get a grant or funding for everybody out there so they have a chance? Because if it's financially, probably almost 95% of the reason why nobody's being able to do what you all or everybody wants them to do is probably financial problems. I know that I don't want to be in a neighborhood that's all trashy. I have a 13-year-old. He's the baby of 5. Like, my husband wanted to move out there because we lived in city limits, because there's no drama out there. I just laughed because it's kind of like being in the city, honestly. But I grew up in Roswell, and I love Roswell. And to me, if one thing looks bad, we all look bad. Same with New Mexico, same with Chavez County. And that's kind of like we're all a reflection off of each other. And I'm hearing all this millions of dollars going to the opiates. I mean, a drug is a drug. When you look up addiction, what is the definition? And who makes that stuff? We could keep going further and further. We already know what the problems are. How come there's not anybody, unless nobody's even tried, to try and help outside of city limits or county to fix it up out there so people do feel safer and comfortable? I live out there. I can't say I feel 100% safe, but I didn't feel that safe in the city either. So, like I said, if one of us looks bad, we all look bad. And that's pretty much all I got to say. So thank you.
Thank you. Lewis. Name and address, please.
Louis Jaramillo, number 1 St. Mary's Place, Roswell, New Mexico. Chairman, Commissioners, I just want to give you a quick update. We have completed our 23-24 cleanup. Thank you, Angelo, for all the work that the road department has done. We addressed 5 properties out of 26. We have completed. We will begin paying our invoices as we receive them. from the city of Roswell, Rudy's Towing and the road department. It has been very successful. We were able to clean up the one on Summit where we picked up an old house that the farmer was just unable to dispose of. And he is going to make arrangements for that cleanup. At least 4 of the 5 are going to make arrangements with Annabelle for the payment process, or speak with Bill on the payment process. So it is, we still have approximately 14 homes on the list that I will be requesting funding for next year. And we have evaluated what it costs for our road departments, our disposal, and any asbestos that we may have to address at the property. The remaining properties are all standing. There are none that are fallen over or none that we're just picking up unless a fire occurs. So. Also, Mr. James Gibson of 304 Ryan Road has provided staff with the necessary timetable, an acceptable timetable for his repair of the property. And he's given us 11 months to be back in that home and compliance with all of the requirements of MH code and our code, NEC 2020 code, and our plumbing code as well. So.
Yep.
Oh, lastly, we do, Mr. Clements, one of his notorious neighbors that we will be dealing with tomorrow in district court, Judge Mason. So we'll see how that goes. I don't want to talk too much about it, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow.
Thank you, Louis.
My turn now.
Yes, sir. Name and address, please, sir.
Larry Marker, 87 Bluebell Road. It's out north of Roswell. What I'm coming here today to talk about is an election integrity ordinance, or at least a letter for a sworn statement from the Secretary of State. First, I'm going to address what brought the need for this, or what experiences I've had across the state that led me to believe that we need to do something in Chaves County. I ran for a statewide office here in 2022, and what I've learned about the state of New Mexico, and especially our county clerk and her staff have set the bar very high. Very, very high. I don't have to back up to anybody when it comes to how our elections are run in Chaves County, and what this ordinance, or if you choose to just send a letter, what this will address will be subjects, or will be authority that's out of the hands of our local county clerk and her staff. Mainly, this is going to address the compliance issue of the voting equipment across the state of New Mexico. As you know, this is a pretty big deal right now, the voter integrity, and it has created problems to the extent there's a lot of people won't go vote. What I believe this ordinance will do, and I'm just going to read what I've wrote here a little bit. At the very least, I'm asking the County Commission to send a letter to the Office of the New Mexico Secretary of State requesting a sworn statement from the New Mexico Secretary of State affirming that the voting system in place that will be utilized to conduct the 2024 primary and general election is currently compliant with all state and federal election laws. This letter will serve to instill some citizen confidence and shield our county clerk, her staff, and other Chaves County officials from potential liability and legal action relative to the use of non-compliant voting systems in the upcoming elections. What I'm seeing across the state of New Mexico in various different calls of action, I'm seeing our Secretary of State starting to blame these issues on county clerks, voting system certification committees, and people that are not responsible for the compliance of this equipment. The Secretary of State bears the brunt of the non-compliance of this voting equipment. This letter or this ordinance will protect, like I said, will serve to protect our county clerk, her staff, which do a fantastic job. I cannot stress enough, if anybody needs a raise, it needs to be them. And if you saw some of the messes we had in other counties in the last election, you would even be more impressed. Donna Ana County had to go open every single machine that they used in the 2022 election. It took them weeks. They were going back to those for weeks later. We literally had hundreds of those opened across the state of New Mexico. Like I said, nobody does it better than our people. And I think I really believe we need to put something in place to protect these people. And it'll also instill a little more confidence in the voters in Chaves County. As you know, this is a pretty conservative county. Our people tend to vote the right way, and we want to get them out and vote. That's what I've got today. I'm going to leave copies of this. It's a draft of the ordinance and the draft of the letter. Like I said, I realize an ordinance is a pretty big challenge and it's a pretty big reach. I'm not saying that this is something easy to do. We do have a primary election coming up, but at the very least, we could send a letter to the Secretary of State, and really it needs to demand that she provides us some affirmation that the equipment she's having us use is compliant with state and federal law, because right now it's not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was going to be my question, Mr. Marker, is if we make such a request of the Secretary of State, can she even sign such a document?
A demand. I say request, you guys are more likely to demand. I don't believe she can, but I believe she will, and what I'm looking for more than anything, like I said, we need to figure out a way to shield our county clerk and our people from the imminent blame game that's coming down the road. I've already received a reply to her response, and she's already throwing the voting system certification committee under the bus.
As you are aware, our current Secretary of State does not like to bear brunts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well aware of Maggie's habits, yes, sir, unfortunately. Any more questions, ideas? Anything we can do to protect our people, because, and I can't stress this enough, with what I've seen across the state of New Mexico, nobody has it better than we do. I promise you, nobody has it better than we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marker. Our 15 minutes is about up. I appreciate all the comments and everyone being here today to participate in our meeting and being a part of it. It's, we live in a really good county, so as Larry alludes, we do it right here, so we appreciate that. Bill, do you have any comments for us today?
Yeah, just quickly, I wanted to point out that I handed out the suggested letter that Mr. Marker brought, and previous to the meeting, I had put the ordinance out there because I told you yesterday I'd make sure that each of them had a copy of that, so that's been done. As always, I always appreciate public involvement in the meeting, whether it's people agreeing or not agreeing. It doesn't matter. That's what this is all about. I want to especially point out Ms. Cardona. I went and caught her before she left, told her I appreciated the way that she handled herself, the way that she expressed her ideas, and everyone did that. Everyone did that very well, but she, I felt like deserved acknowledgement on that. Also, I'd like to point out that Mr. Clements has been very patient with us with his comments over the years, and unfortunately, it's been over the years, but thank you for coming all the time. We appreciate you. I do want to say that in the past, Chaves County has gone out into areas that are particularly dirty. I don't know the proper term to use, but they've placed, there you go, they've placed dumpsters in those areas. They've made aware to the neighborhood that, you know, if you have items, if you can get them out to the right of way, at least, we can get them in those dumpsters, or if you can get them in the dumpster, we can haul that stuff off. And we've talked over the last couple of years of kind of resurrecting some of those things in some of the really bad neighborhoods to see if we can help people get some of the garbage or offensive materials off of their properties. And of course, that's, as was brought up today, you know, that's a very subjective thing. So, but it does help. And the county has done that in the past, and we have talked about doing that again. I went to my favorite event of the year a couple of weeks ago. That was the Rise with Roswell breakfast. It's the agricultural breakfast. We get up early in the morning. We beg for coffee, and we have a great breakfast and a great speaker. And as usual, we had a great event. And as we read this morning, there was a proclamation for the agriculturalist, and certainly that applies to our cooperative extension partners and 4-H leaders. We appreciate all that you guys do, and please continue to do all those great things. The last thing I want to point out is we had a public meeting about the Cultural Plaza plans. We have a pretty solid schematic plan. We took it to the public and let them look at it a couple of days ago at the Civic Center. We had, how many people do you think, Alex, 25 or so in attendance? It was pretty well received. And you know, I attribute that fact to the point that Chaves County, Main Street, Roswell, Great Blocks, the state of New Mexico, City of Roswell, Chaves County, all of us are all working together towards a common goal to do good things in our community, just like the stuff we discussed today. It's all for the good of the community, and it's really encouraging when we see all the community come together and work on projects like that. I guess that's about all I have to say. Thank you very much for everything you guys do for us. We appreciate those hard decisions, and thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Commissioner Perry.
Three quick things if I could. One is I think we made some strides today in Chaves County, and I want to say I appreciate Luis and all of his staff on the nuisance abatement ordinance. I think that was a good move. I think it's a step in the right direction for the county. Number two, Mr. Marker, I like your election integrity request and the professionalism of your group. I think that was well thought, well brought forward. It was in a professional manner. The other thing I'd like to talk about real quick is I can't believe I'm going to give a plug to another county and another city, but if you guys could, on March 23rd, Daylight Donuts in Clovis is going to have a fundraiser. And even if you don't need donuts, why don't you buy some and donate them to somebody? Because 100% of the proceeds go to State Police Officer Justin Harris' family. That'll support the outcome. Hopefully it'll help his family have some closure, which it probably won't, but it'll help them financially. So I'd ask that you buy some donuts from Daylight Donuts in Clovis. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Perry. Good point. Commissioner Taylor.
Mr. Chairman, I think it was great to see the turnout of people that speaking for and against the ordinance on cleaning up lands in this county. The purpose of the ordinance is mainly to protect people, not to go against or hurt anybody. And I think the ordinance will accomplish that. We want to make sure that Chaves County is safe for everyone. And it's to protect the rights of the innocent and the good and the people that maintain their property. I'd like to thank our county staff, all the departments for the very hard work, and also the clerk's office. They do a great job on our elections. I think we have one of the most outstanding county clerk's office, and their staff, and the way they handle elections, I think is beyond question. I hope everybody has a great day ahead of them.
Commissioner Taylor, thank you. Commissioner Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too want to thank everybody for attending. And it's kind of sad because sometimes it's misinformation that gets out there, and we have people that show up and don't quite understand what we are trying to do in some of this stuff. The last thing that I think Lewis wants to do, and I've said this before, is go around Chaves County, it's a big county, and look for properties and look for we're going to go on your property and we're going to measure your grass and all this stuff. I mean, we don't have the time, we don't have the staff, and we don't want to. And that's not what we're directing Lewis to do. So I just hope that people realize that the things that we're trying to do here for the betterment of Chaves County and like Commissioner Taylor said, keeping our citizens safe. Thank you to the road department. I had just told Joe a couple of months back that there was a sign down on Darby Road, and by the time I got home, that sign was already up. Your crew, you guys, you work fantastic. Thank you very much, and maintaining our roads and our trash. The road department, I see Esteban constantly over in Midway. We take the trash, and he's over there early in the morning, through the weekends, picking up everybody else's trash, and we have this mentality, well, somebody else will pick it up, so I can just throw it out or whatever. So, you know, we have wonderful staff, wonderful workers, wonderful people that are trying to maintain Chaves County, and we provide the services, and so that's what we do. That's what Chaves County does. We work together and we make it better. Thank you for Keep Chaves County Beautiful. You always have. I ran out of some gloves, so I need some gloves. I've got to pick up some gloves from you because we keep taking trash and I keep losing my gloves, so I need some. Thank you to Chaves County Extension Office. You guys are always doing some fun projects. It is a fun way for kids, adults and youths to get involved. So we found out, there is a lot of stuff going on for adults and for kids going on in Chaves County. You just, I hear it all the time. We heard it today. Why aren't there more things for kids to do? We do. We have a lot of stuff in Chaves County for kids to do. And adults. I used to take my girls so I could go have fun with them. And so there's a lot of fun things to do for kids. We're trying very hard to keep kids' activities reading and socializing instead of being on the tablets and being in their rooms and not doing stuff. So you just gotta get out there and see what's going on in Chaves County. Like I said, spring has sprung. The pollen is very active. We all know that. But it's a beautiful day in Chaves County, and spring is such a beautiful time, I think, here in Chaves County and the state of New Mexico as a whole. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our staff.
Thank you, Commissioner Daniel. Commissioner Ezell.
Just want to thank everybody for a good meeting. It was great to see public participation. Want to thank Lewis and his staff for the work they did on the ordinance, and Stan. And just thank all of our department heads for doing such a great job. And everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Commissioner Ezell. I want to reflect all that's been said. Great staff, great day in Chaves County. I was reminded that we'll be closed
For Good Friday.
for Good Friday. Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Okay. And it is Chaves County is a good county. Well, I'm glad to see all the participants. Larry, you guys, y'all worked hard. We appreciate everything that you're doing. We know you're passionate about it. The people that were here today about this ordinance, they're passionate about living here. And so that gives us hope that people here are going to survive, and we'll make it together. I'd just remind everybody that Easter season is here, and for us to remember why we have the grace that we have through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and what he did for us on the cross. And with that, I'm going to adjourn. We'll go sign documents. Thank you.
And it's great to see Calder.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Amen.
Amen. Look.